Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think uh, with
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
with 14 in the group, I mean, who have joined 15, 16, okay. Uh, Rather than waiting endlessly, it's better we begin. As we know, tonight is going to be like a Q&A in respect of what we treated previously. Before, if you have any question, and before, I mean, if you want to ask question, you raise up your hand and then I will recognize you so that you can unmute yourself. And before that, I will quickly take us through something brief and then we can begin to take the questions. This is the interface on Cowrywise, which I'm sharing with you, showing all the stocks, 144. Top gainers at the top, you see them in green, and then those that do not change, that remain unchanged today, so you see them, I mean, 0% gain, and then those that lost below. Okay, one thing we should understand, this 144, as I started showing earlier, they are grouped into certain indices. These are all the indices, okay, that we have based on what they produce. You have the NGX 30, which is one of the strongest indices that we have, consisting of 30 highly capitalized stocks. It tracks 30 companies by market capitalization and liquidity. These 30, they constitute about 93% of the market capitalization. Okay, so although this is 30 out of around 140, so probably by percentage wise, that should be less than even 25%, but they constitute about 93% of the market capitalization because they are highly capitalized companies. So, and this is one of the popular index that we know. Some companies, some brokers, they track it. They track the performance of these companies. Okay. So this is like the tracking. You realize that the performance of this index is somehow very close to the performance of the overall index, which is the all share index. And then you have others, I discussed about the all share index earlier, consisting of all the companies, 144 constituents. Okay. And then others are, you have the banking index, consisting of the banks, 10 of them. And then consumer goods, 15. And this is the performance. One can buy them as a stock. Okay. Each of these index, depending on the broker that you use, instead of buying, like in this case, this consumer goods has 15 constituents. Instead of buying one, two, three, 15 of these stocks, you can just decide to buy the consumer goods index. And then, I mean, depending on the performance of the consumer good, that will determine your return as well. Okay. The same thing, we have growth index, we have industrial index, insurance. This is the Lotus Islam, the Lotus Islamic Index, having 12 constituents. So all this, they track the Sharia compliant equity screened by a Sharia board. So one can decide to buy individual stocks or to buy the Lotus Index, which is one that tracks the performance of all these 12 constituents. And there is another ETF, Lotus HAL 15, which is the Lotus Halal Equity ETF. We are going to discuss it later. It's one of the ETFs. We haven't started expatiating on ETFs, but we will do that very closely. Okay, where we'll discuss other asset classes. Then we have the oil and gas. These are the constituents. And we have the pension, the premium, that is those companies that have, the premium boards, that's funds meeting NGX highest bars for capitalization, liquidity, and governance. So like this is the top notch of the stock exchange market. And then this is the market summary that gives you the performance, overall performance. Like today, this is 2%. 2% is, I mean, today I don't remember when I saw the market performed this good. 2% in a day is really very big. I mean, this is over 2 trillion naira. It means over investors have gained over 2 trillion naira today. The question is, are you part of those investors? Did you gain today? Did you even open a brokerage account? If you don't, I mean, what are you still waiting for? We have already presented how you can open a brokerage account. Quickly go and open one. If you want to be part of those that will be gaining, today you can see 2% gain on the all share index. And you can see all those in blue are the gainers, those in gray are those that did not neither gain nor lost. Okay, they did not gain, neither do they lose. And then in red are those that lost. Okay, and this is by market capitalization. You know, the size. Oh, MTN is now the highest. You know, it has the highest market capitalization. It used to be Boa Food. Maybe, oh, because of the performance of MTN recently. Recently, MTN had a rally, and that pushed MTN to become the number one stock with the highest market capitalization. Now, Boa Foods is number two. Boa Foods overtook MTN, and now MTN has gained its position. You can see the small ones with the small market capitalization. You can see them all here. Okay, and here you can quickly check. You know, this is the all share index. You can check the NGX 30. You can see them. You can check by the index. You know, this is the Lotus Islam index. Oh, they have all gained except those that are just constant. Then you can check by whatever index that you want to track. Okay, the premium index has gained 2.95. Okay. So I think now, uh, let me check that, please. What app is this? This is my first time attending the Zoom class. Okay, that is from Prince Hanif. Oh, someone has already answered him. Oh, it's Kauri Wise. Okay, it's Kauri Wise. Being your first time attending the class means that you need to join the Telegram group. I will write the link to join the Telegram group on the chat. Okay. By joining the Telegram group, you can access all previous materials, all previous classes that we held from day 1 to day 13. I think yesterday we held class for day 13. Yes. And they're very, very vital, especially for a beginner. Than stock investment basics. Okay, this is the Telegram group. So once you join, you will access all the previous materials that we discussed. Okay, and the previous videos, because the Zoom sessions that was held, and it's important you go over them. Oh, you are already in the Telegram, WhatsApp. Okay, all right. So now I think we can start entertaining questions because today is simply for Q&A. And before we start, I remembered one thing. If you remember for, our lesson, which day? I think day 11, where we discussed about the tick size. Yeah, the tick size. I made mention that the price movement is 1 kobo for stock price from 1 or 0 to 100, Okay, and then 5 kobo, 100 to 1000, and 10 kobo above 1000. Actually, I made mistake in the range. It is 1 kobo 0 to 10 only, not to 100. Okay, 0 to 10, the stock price can move by 1 kobo, and then from 10 to 1000, it can move by 5 kobo. Okay, not 100 to 1000, it is 10 to 1000. Because if you try to move it by 1 kobo, uh, once the share price is between 10 to 100, you will receive a notice from the broker that, that is wrong step movement. The tick size is 0.05, not 0.01. Okay, so I would like to correct that. Just today I was trading a stock around 50, 51. I tried to move it by 0.01 and I received that error message. Then I remembered having given you the range to cover 100 to 1000. That is 0.05. So it's actually 10 to 1000 that can move up or down by 0.05. Yes. Let me check chat area. Okay. Jazakallah bil khair. I have bought like 7 different stocks. Okay, that's good. So you have started practicing, because this thing, as I always say, is all about practicing. The more you practice, the more you understand the market more, the more you try to form your own opinion, the more you understand the price movement, how the stock market works. So once you join, you have your brokerage account, even though it is like the expectation is for beginners, after the 30-day masterclass, that is when one is expected to begin, to buy. But some are already into it. So, of course, you can go ahead and buy. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Doctor, can't this live session be held on Telegram? Uh, no, it's better we hold it here, because I realized, Zoom is one of the best apps that you can hold such video sessions. If you may recall, for those that are on WhatsApp, my initial intent was to even hold it on WhatsApp on day 11, after day 11, because they complained that they did not understand the lesson of day 11 very well. So I tried the voice chat of WhatsApp. It wasn't smooth. I tried scheduling a meeting, an event and then that still did not go well. And that was when I quickly switched to Zoom. So Zoom and Microsoft Team. Yeah, Zoom and Microsoft Team are really the best for holding such, video sessions. So, I don't want to even try Telegram, uh, so long as we have this as the best. It's as simple as installing Zoom on one's phone, and then you quickly join. And the link that we used yesterday is our permanent link. So every night, just click on the link and join the class. Then this question is saying, sir, what is your perception on buying Jaiz shares for 5,000 each month throughout the year? Although I'm a student, I may not be able to buy every month, but I have a long-term decision on the share. Okay. First of all, I would like you to uh, attend this 30-day masterclass, understand, the different dynamics, and then at the end, depending on what you intend to buy, Jaiz had a very good rally at the beginning of the month. If we check, let me quickly open the Jaiz chart. It has done over 70%, I think. Whereas last year, you see, from the beginning of the year, it has done 83, 82%. But if you check 1 year back, it was fluctuating between 3 to 4 naira. Okay. Throughout last year, for a whole year, it was, uh, from 3 naira, it went up to 4 naira, and was moving up and down gradually until the beginning of this year. Then it had a sudden leap. It moved up. It doubled, almost doubled. Okay, and then now it has reached some kind of a resistance level at 8.3. So Jais isn't a bad stock. It has a liquidity rating of 3. Okay. But then there is something about diversification, which we discussed in on day 5. Okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't be buying Jais, but Jais isn't, I mean, it's one out of 144 stocks. Okay. It is not like the best that, I mean, the only best. Okay. So diversification is very important, even though you can still do what is called the dollar average, the dollar cost averaging every month. You will be buying stock, but having diversification in mind is very important. Okay, rather than holding on to just one stock, okay, for a whole year, buying that only stock. I mean, based on what you learned in the class, I mean, you can sort of diversify, okay? But having this plan, as you mentioned, is very, very important, depending on one's capacity. Every month, try to get something out of it and buy these stocks. Buying these stocks, it doesn't mean that you are like losing your money. This is investment. If you do it well, I mean, your money is going to grow. And depending on your investment goal, whether short term or long term or whatever, with adequate knowledge, you will only stand to gain from the stock market, sincerely speaking. Your risk in the market will be greatly reduced to the barest minimum, so long as, I mean, you approach the market with knowledge. And that is one of the main reasons why we are conducting this 30-day masterclass, to ensure that anyone who wants to go to enter the stock market will go there with his eyes wide open, okay? So that you have the understanding, the basic understanding, and then the remaining part is about practicing. Once you now enter the market, begin to buy 1 or 2 stocks, hold them, keep learning and learning and learning, then definitely over time you will master the art of what takes place on the stock market. Why not diversifying? Okay, someone was saying, why not diversifying the 5K? Well, whatever you want to put aside, I mean, that is up to your strength. But then, of course, like I said, diversification is very, very important. Why it is important, you see, some stocks can remain stagnant for a long time, and some can move. So, and you can identify them, some from the historical antecedents, from their fundamentals and other factors. Okay. So having, it's like I explained, it's like you having a single fruit. Okay, let's say just orange, and then someone having, a basket, a cocktail where you have orange, mango, strawberries, orange, pineapple, watermelon, and all of that. So he will have he will benefit from the relative advantages of each of the fruits, rather than just picking a single one. So that is one good advantage of diversification. And in the event that one is not doing well, or it is even, let's say, experiencing a pullback, others that are doing well will now undo, I mean, they will now neutralize such pullback. Okay, so this is one of the advantages of diversification. Yes, diversifying it to the low risk, medium risk, high risk stocks is better. Okay, give examples. We have given examples in the webinar we held last week. You can go and watch it. It's available. The link is there on the Telegram channel as well, and it is on YouTube. We have given adequate examples, and also on day 5, we have given a lot of other examples. So I need more explanation on stash and nest features of cowrie wise. Okay. So Meet Nest, a secure investment account that grows with your little one. Start with just your child's name and date of birth and locks on their 18th birthday so you can transfer it to them.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Rage da dakta barka
Uh,
da rana mai namu da gajiya kokari.
ina zuwa bari in dan answer. Let me finish answering this question, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, did this meat nest, it's like you are saving for your child. Start with just your child's name and date of birth, and then when the child become an adult at 18, you can transfer it to them. So it's like investing for your kids. Someone, I think, the APT CEO, in passing of uh, Malam Kasumu Kurfi, uh, there was an interview he granted uh, Fadak Media Hub exactly 1 week on Friday. Yes, I think I shared even the interview on the groups. So he was saying that in the South, some people, during the naming ceremony, some gather money for the child and all of that. So some parents will now open an account, investment account and put all the money for the child so that once the child grow up, he can now use it for his study, and the money must have grown because it will be like invested. Okay, so this is an indirect way of investing for your child, gradually putting something while it is growing. Okay, so this is the meat nest. I also want to tell you that you can also open a brokerage account for a minor. Okay, you can open a brokerage account for a minor, but the brokerage account will have your CSCN and CHN, and then your account number as well. But the miner can operate. I mean, he can be depositing money, but withdrawal has to be through you. So it's like a way of either saving for that miner, just like in this case, or if it's someone that you feel you want to even teach, investment and all of that, so you can do that. So you can open a broker, an account for a minor. Okay. So Mary Stem do that, APT as well, and I think most of the brokers they have provision that you can open an account for a minor. Then the stash basically uh, it shows your fund is like where your money goes. Okay, when you it's your wallet. Okay, let me put it's your wallet. Okay, when you want to check out, when you want to buy stock, you have I think two options, either stash or your linked bank account with Cowrywise. So the stash is where when you deposit money on Cowrywise, it goes to stash. Okay, and from stash you can now choose to buy stocks, you can choose to buy mutual funds, you can choose to take it to other savings. Okay, because it has other emergency savings, school fees, where you can be keeping your money until some maturity. Okay, let's say you keep money until, like in this case where it needs maturity, you can put the maturity date and you cannot withdraw the money until the maturity date is due. Okay, and this is like emergency fund where you can keep the money, and in each case you will be having returns. You'll be having returns. Okay, in each case, the returns that, of course, far is far more than what you will earn if kept in your bank savings account. Okay, so this is the explanation with respect to the um, stash. Then, uh, well, okay, I'm reading the questions in the chat. Is there? That's why. Okay, I need. Okay, okay. This one is saying, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please, we need the live practical of the buying and selling of stock for some of us that missed previous sessions. Jazakallah khaira. Well, if you miss previous sessions, the sessions are recorded, and all this I post immediately after each session. I would upload on my YouTube channel and then share the link on Telegram as well as WhatsApp group. So all the videos, the recorded sessions are there, so you can go back and watch them. And all the practical sessions, actually we did not actually buy any stock live because we hold the session at 9 p.m. Nigerian time, and stock, you know, the stock market closes at 2:20 p.m. Okay, so definitely we couldn't have performed any practical buying or selling. But what we did, we explained the interface, the order book, and all of that. Okay, and all these are available in the group, the Telegram and the WhatsApp group. Okay, the recorded sessions, so you can go back and watch them. Okay, and then if you have any other question after watching, then we can meet and you can table your question. This one says, I bought 1,000 Jaiz shares at 4 Naira last year, October. Alhamdulillah. Well, then you are now, smiling to the banks. 4 Naira now is 8.3. You have made, in just October, you have made over 100%. 100%. By just, within few seconds clicking buy. Okay. And you can see 100% from October. Okay, so this is the power of the stock market. When you do it well, it rewards. That is good financial reward. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Please, could you please help with an optimum selection of stocks so as to have a well diversified portfolio out of all listed stocks? While I haven't started giving any signal per se, but then with some of the stock analysis that I do, I mean, that could guide and gives, I mean, it will give some hint to anybody listening. Okay. And again, if you attended my webinar, okay, where I listed low risk stocks, high, medium, all those stocks, if you go and check them very well, you realize that they are actually good stocks that have performed very well, and that based on your risk appetite, you can actually form a diversified portfolio out of that collection. As well as if you check the 5 lesson, okay, where I listed some low risk, medium, and high risk stocks. If you study them one after the other, okay, you would realize that they are actually carefully chosen stocks. Okay, so I would refer you back to the webinar as well as the 5 presentation. Okay, I listed several stocks. Okay, I mean, that you can actually, I mean, choose from, okay, after you have done your due diligence. Okay, and then, sir, I need more clarification on mutual funds on Cowrie Wise. We will do that very soon. It's part of the schedule. I think that will be coming. I don't remember the day, but it's coming in one of the, because yesterday we did, I mean, yesterday was day 13. So we have at least now 17 more days to finish the master class. So in one of the days, I will take time to go through the mutual fund, the ETFs, and the other asset classes. So, in order not to go ahead of the syllabus that I already have, so I will ask you to be with us every day, okay? And very soon we will reach that point where I will expatiate more on mutual funds. And then this one says, sir, I need more clarification. Oh, good day, sir. I'm using bamboo before before I moved to Kauri Wise yesterday. Please, how can I buy US stocks, US stock on it? Thank you. You are using bamboo and you moved to Kauri Wise? Well, on Kauri Wise, you don't have US stocks, but you have mutual fund, US mutual fund. While on Bamboo, you have both Nigerian stocks and US stocks. Okay, on you. This is Cowrie wise. If you choose invest, you can see you have dollar mutual funds, but you don't have dollar stocks. Okay, you don't have dollar stocks. You can see this is dollar fund FSDH. This is ARM Euro bond fund. This is Nigerian Euro bond fund. Okay, so you don't have US stocks on Cowrie wise. So since you already registered with Bamboo, if you need to buy US stocks, then you have to go back to Bamboo or I think Bamboo. That is Optimus by Afri Investor, which has been renamed to Plutus Neo. Uh, on that, you can also buy US stocks, and then I, I think Yocha also, yeah, Yocha also, on Yocha, you can also buy US stocks, Yocha, Bamboo, and Plutus Neo. Yes. So for US stocks, you have to go back to Bamboo, okay, except if you are interested in mutual dollar funds, okay? Yeah, let me read again. Let me check. All right. Okay. This one is saying, Assalamu alaikum, doctor. How do I deposit Naira in my Cowrywise wallet? It's so complicated for me. Thank you. Well, to deposit money, you just go to payment. You can see, but definitely you should link your account. That is a process of linking your bank account. Okay, so you first link your bank account, and then you can see deposit and withdraw with your accounts. For automated deposits, we will try them all. Okay, so you choose the account, and then you in fact, Cowrywise has, to me, one of the simplest ways to I mean, to trade online, because on Cowrywise, you don't necessarily need to have money in your stash. No, you can just go to the stock of interest, and then at the point of sale, whichever one that you want to buy, simply at the point of sale, you can choose, the source of fund. And one of the sources is your linked bank account. So the same amount, let's say you want to buy this one McNichols for, let's say, 10,000 naira. So it will just go to your bank account direct, the bank account that you already linked to Cowrywise, and it will withdraw the same amount and buy, McNichol shares for 10,000 naira. If there is any balance that, remains after the transaction, it will deposit that balance into your stash. So you don't even need to, let's say, deposit money in your stash before you can make purchase. Just make sure that you link your bank account to the Cowrywise, and you don't need to deposit money in the wallet before you can make a purchase. Uh, Assalamu alaikum. Can I have two brokerage accounts? Definitely. You can have more. If you were with us yesterday, you can see, my different brokerage accounts. When I open the CSCS account, okay, which will list all your brokerage accounts, then it will also give you the total stocks that you hold in each of those brokerage accounts, okay? So you can have more than one, like I mentioned, brokerage account is like a bank account, okay? You have different banks. So also you have different brokers, okay? So, except that with each broker, you have a different CSCS number, but the CHN number is supposed to remain the same. Then this one says, Prof, please, I need your expert advice. I have been receiving stock recommendations from my broker almost every weekend, but I'm a bit skeptical about jumping on the recommendations because I want to develop my ability to be able to do both technical and fundamental analysis first. Yes, this is very, very important. If you remember, if you were with us during the webinar, I shared some. uh, recommendations, weekly. Most brokers issue weekly recommendations, stock recommendations, okay, to their clients. So I examined one. I just presented one in which you have about 4 or 5 brokers, and their recommendations for stocks. And then I mentioned, because when you, I think, let me even, yeah, I can even check it. I can still go over it because this is very important question. Let me open it and then share the page. Yes, okay. All right, yes. This is the, okay. All right. So I'm sharing the page. This is exactly what I posted on on the slide. You can see here there are different good brokers. Very Cardinal Stone, Apple, Mary Stone, Mary Stem, Afri Invest, Banco Securities, 6 of them. Okay. And there are different recommendations for each stock. Okay. So you can see, uh, usually, hardly do they all agree. Well, Transco, okay, they all agree on a buy, recommendation for Transco, but on some, usually they have conflicting recommendations. Conflicting, one will tell you to buy, another will tell you to sell, another will tell you to hold. And then you, as the investor, which one do you choose? Which one do you, ignore? Like, look at this, let's say Stambik. This one says hold, reduce, buy, hold, sell. And each one, they have their reasons before they arrive at this decision. Uh, Usually, you see the brokers, they analyze these companies, they have their, market analysis, complex economic analysis of the background, the fundamentals, the potential, the prospect of the company, and then they will arrive at what is called, usually, upside potential. Okay, upside potential. Let me share one of the values for the upside potential, which I also did during the webinar. So I think you may have to check that webinar, but let me share this slide so as to explain clearly. Oh, okay. Okay. I want to open the other file. Oh, I think I will have to. Um, okay. I think let me just open the presentation. Just 1 minute. I want to locate the file. We shop 2026. Okay. I'm almost there. Okay. All right. One, two, okay. Scrolling through. All right. Yes, this is it. So let me share the screen. All right. If you can see my screen, okay, continue. Yes. Uh, this is the left one I already discussed. This is the right one, which I received from Mary Stem for the stock recommendation for this week. Okay, so it will give its recommendation for most stocks, and then at the end have a pick. This is stocks you should have in your portfolio. Okay, custodian, FCMB, and Transco. And then this is the upside potential. Okay, the upside potential is they give you like the percentage that they are expecting that stock price will reach. Okay, if it's positive, it's upside. If it's negative, it's downside. So now uh, that is on Monday. Based on their calculation, custodian was selling at 44. They are expecting that it will increase by 42%. FCMB will increase by 40%. Transco will increase by 88% based on their analysis. So here the rationale they will tell you, like, let's say Transco benefits from a diversified business model that spreads risk across multiple revenue streams, including power generation, hospitality, and energy, enabling the company to deliver consistent revenue and profit growth driven by strong performances across these segments. From a technical perspective, a 14-day RSI of 47.63 combined with an upside potential of 88% signals an attractive entry point. We therefore recommend a buy. And if you click on this buy, you will see another comprehensive, exhaustive, detailed report about why they arrived at this upside potential and the buy recommendation. So it is a detailed economic and financial analysis before they arrive at this point, at this upside potential. But then this 88%, someone may look at it, yeah, this, I mean, it implies Transco has, a good prospect. But then when will it reach this potential of 88%? Nobody knows. It can, reach in the next 1 month, 2 months. It can even be delayed till maybe next year or even after that. Okay. So, but based on the mathematical models, the prospect and everything put together, they have this stock recommendation of a buy and the expected level that stock will reach. Now, for some, it will be the upside potential will be negative, which is downside, and then they will recommend a sell. If it is negative, let's say -10, -15, they would recommend a sell, because if it is negative, it means that the share price will reduce, it will depreciate. Positive, it will appreciate. Negative, it will depreciate. If it's like -2, 3, -5, then they would recommend a hold. Okay, meaning that the stock price might experience a mild pullback, so they will say, okay, the recommendation would be hold. All right, before, when I first joined, the this stock investment, uh, that was around May 2014. I was following this, I mean, reading these recommendations. And then, because when I started, I just, bought some, stocks across different sectors. And then I realized that some stocks this week, the recommendation will be buy. And then 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, the same broker will now change the recommendation to something else, to either hold or even sell. But then I realized that those stocks that I held, which probably the broker might have recommended that I should sell, have paid. They appreciated in the long term. So that was why, at that point in time, I couldn't go by the recommendation of the brokers, sincerely speaking. Even though I'm not saying it is just, some irrational or pointless recommendation, because, like I said, it is financially detailed, analysis. If you remember during the webinar, I told you modeling the market, is extremely difficult, extremely difficult. MTN before, like from Mary Stream, the recommendation was even hold and probably sell. But then they calculated the upside potential, and then MTN has reached that upside potential, and then they recommended hold. But once it exceeded the upside potential, there will be like a review of the financial analysis, and all of that. And then they will now project it to have a positive upside potential. So that is why I would always advise, investors or beginners to have knowledge, to come into the market, understand the dynamics themselves, hear from this, hear from that, and then experiment yourself, feel it, feel it. There are some stocks, people will say, this is illiquid, you cannot sell it. And then those same illiquid stocks that some would say you cannot sell, I had no problem selling them at any point in time. While others are saying, no, this is illiquid, don't buy, sorry, don't buy because you will have difficulty getting out. And I had no such experience at all. So it's something, if you remember, I always say, come and join, experiment it. It's something that you need to feel it, experience it, and then gradually form your investment personality. If you understand the market, you will begin to form your own perspective on the market. People will tell you this, will tell you that, and then based on your own experience and exposure to the market, you will also have your own perspective on certain matters. And you can only do that by learning, keep reading, and then practicing, practicing. So through that, you will understand, okay, this one that they are saying they have potentials. Okay, they do have, but from my own little research, I can also like identify those stocks that I can actually feel that they have potential without necessarily following the recommendation of the brokers. Okay. I'm not saying their recommendations are pointless, but I'm just giving you the practical point of view. You can see this one, same stock, but opposite recommendation. See first Holco, sell, buy, hold. So which one will you take? Which one will you now throw away? Okay. So it's really something very tough. But like I said, if you are in the market, I was just telling someone before I joined this live session that the stock market, is really more difficult than simple business. If you want to open a shop, all you do, if you have money, you buy everything, hire a place or build a place and get someone to stay there, or you can even be the one that will be selling and all of that. So it's so straightforward. But the stock market is extremely complicated, extremely complicated. And for someone to benefit optimally, one needs knowledge. And that knowledge is what we are here to establish, to ensure that especially beginners that want to join the market, they have this adequate background and foundation so that they will enter into this market with their eyes wide open. Now, let me uh, check the next question. Okay, from my broker. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Please, does Cowrywise have app have limit order option? Definitely. All apps, okay? All apps have limit order option. Uh, Let me simply go and show you how it works on Cowrywise. Let me quickly show you. There is a place where you can order, you can change, you can edit the price. I will share with you my screen. So it's, screen sharing is paused. Okay, then let me pause it and then share it again. Okay. All right. I think, okay. I'm sharing now. So let's say you want to buy this McNichols. You come here. Did you see edit? Okay. This is edit. This one, if you put the shares, let's say 10 shares, if you buy, this is at market price. You see, the price above may change. We will use the market price when your order is placed. So when you click buy, it will use the market price. But when you want to change it to limit order, you click on this edit. You can see it. So when you click on the edit, it will now, you can now set your price. Set your price. A limit order lets you choose the price you want to buy or sell a stock at. Your order will only go through if the stock reaches that price or a price close to it. So here you can now set, your limit price. You can see plus or minus, or you can simply type, and then you can choose the validity, the order validity, good till end of day, 3 days or 1 week. Okay, and then you now click on buy now. Okay, so this is how to set the limit order on Cowrie Wise. And this one says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Please, can we have a live practical of trading using the 10% rule? Please, sir, maybe I will understand it more. Okay. Uh, that one, it has to be during the trading session. So I will try to arrange for that. Okay, maybe when we reach certain levels, so that I will have a live demonstration of other areas also. So I will bear it at the back of my mind, and then we'll try to have this live trading session to demonstrate this 10% rule. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Please, what's the difference between money, mutual funds, and ETFs? Let me even check the day that we are going to discuss all this, money, mutual funds, and ETFs. Let me check based on the outline, because I have already designed my 30-day outline. Okay. So let me check and tell you the day, so that you watch out for it. I want to open my 30-day outline and then tell you the particular day where this is going to be covered. Okay, so that you watch out for that. So far, yesterday was day 13, and tomorrow will be day 14. So covering mutual funds, that's different asset classes generally will come up. Okay. Account protection. Okay. Revenue, liquidity, okay. Free float, dividends. Okay, it will come, it is going to come up on day 27, okay, where we will discuss passive investing options, equity stocks, which is what we have been discussing from the beginning, and then we'll look at equity funds, ETFs, both passive versus active, and Sharia compliant options. Okay, so wait, you have to wait until we reach day 27. We will have a whole class discussing all these different options. Okay. Um, and then this one says, Assalamu alaikum, Professor. Thank you for all you have been doing, but really missed your lessons in WhatsApp. If you miss our lessons in WhatsApp, you can check Telegram, everything, because Telegram allows, members to access past posts. Okay, so you can just scroll off from the beginning, and then you will have access to everything that we discussed during the presentations, Q&A, and any useful material that I shared. My question is, I want to know the difference between dollar and naira account. And can you use the dollar one? Secondly, if one looks at order book of some stocks, you see the bid side is more than the offer side. Why is this? Okay, let me take let me take the question one after the other. First, the difference between dollar and naira account. Probably you are talking about account with a bank. Yeah, the dollar account is called domiciliary account, and that is where you can put your dollars. If you earn in dollar, you need to have a domiciliary account to receive dollars, okay? Because your Naira account cannot receive dollars, okay? So that is one. Even if you don't earn in dollars, you can still operate a domiciliary account where you can get your dollar and deposit directly into the domiciliary account for online transactions, or if you travel abroad, you can access the domiciliary account, but using a dollar card, a dollar master card, okay, which is tied, which you can fund with your domiciliary account. The dollar master card is different. It's not like ATM card, but it has its own account number that you can fund using your domiciliary account, and then that dollar card can be used for online purchases, or if you go abroad, you can use it to make I mean to do shopping, okay, on POS, or even withdraw. Okay, I think you may even be able to withdraw. Even though now some banks like GT, I know for certain, you can use your Naira Mastercard to do online transaction or to make purchases when you go abroad up to the tune of $1,000 per month. Okay, previously this option has been was cancelled, but now it has been revived because the naira is getting strength. Okay, it is gaining against the dollar. So that is about the Naira and Dollar Mastercard. Sorry, Dollar and Naira account. And then again, if you want to buy US stocks, you have two options. Most of them, like Bamboo, will allow you to use your fund your account in naira, and then they will give you exchange rate. They will convert your naira into dollars based on their exchange rate, and then you can now use that converted dollar, that naira which has been moved to your dollar wallet. You can now use it to buy US stocks. That is for Bamboo. For your for Optimus or Plutus Neo, uh, they also have the means of allowing you to recharge your wallet in Naira, and then they will give you their own exchange rate. But then if you have a domiciliary account, you can directly get your dollars from your domiciliary account and fund your Plutus Neo account, so that that exchange rate issue, you have no problem with it because you already have your dollars. So in that case, you won't bother about any exchange rate, because generally they may give you exchange rate that may not favor you. But if you don't have dollars on ground, you would have no other option but to accept whatever exchange rate that they dish out to you. Okay, but if you have your domiciliary account in which you already have your dollars, you can link it directly and fund your dollar account on Plutus Neo, and then use that account, use that wallet to buy US stocks. So I think that answered that part of the question. And then secondly, if one looks at order book of some stocks, you see the bid side more than the offer side. I think we explained this during day 11, where we explained the full bid offer, or full offer. Okay, full bid and full offer. Okay, you may have to go back, and that was even what led to the big to starting this live Zoom session, when members complained that they had difficulty understanding the 11 lesson. Okay, so we initiated this live Zoom session. So I would refer you to my lesson on limit versus market order and limit order, which is available on YouTube, and the links have been shared on Telegram as well as on WhatsApp. So simply, I mean, you have bid side more than the offer side. Sometimes you have full bid because people are running after that stock, probably due to liquidity issue, and no, there are no enough offers, and definitely that means that stock is going to rise, because it will be, when you have full bid, it will be controlled by those who are selling, and when you have full offer, it will be controlled by those who are buying. Okay, so we went in details, to demonstrate using the order book on cowrie wise. I would like to refer you to that session. Now, this one says, Tahir Abdullah, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Doctor, please, I have mistakenly credited my Kauri Wise with 10K. How can I retrieve it back to my account? Yes, you can retrieve it back to your account. You can just go and withdraw. Okay, you go to stash dash dash, those 3 points. You click, that is withdraw to your bank account, and you click, and it will be refunded. Okay, generally refunding from Cowry Wise to your account, probably it will take, usually they will tell you maybe 24 hours, okay, one working day, okay, but you just go to your stash and you withdraw, okay, and it will be uh, withdrawn to your account. Another question, sir. Yusuf A.M. Ghazali. I can see some of my friends' portfolio balance in dollar. Can I also have the same? Oh, well, some like bamboo, it can change it to dollar, just your balance, okay? Like I explained, I think my previous explanation about, funding either the dollar wallet or the naira wallet suffices. On bamboo, it can convert once, I mean, your naira in your wallet, the naira in your wallet, it will just give you the dollar equivalent in case you want to trade, in US stocks. Thanks, Doc. Please, how do I access the CSCS to see all my accounts and stocks? Nazifi Kabir, it seems you missed our class yesterday. Well, I demonstrated exactly how to do that. Okay, with live demonstration, accessing the CSCS account, creating the account in the first place via CSCS portal, cscs.ng. You go there, you register, you pay about 5,000 plus, and then once your account is activated, you go and then you will see all the brokers you have, all the stocks that you hold. So you have to watch our live session yesterday. That was taken care of. Then this Malam says, please, a sample of recommendations. Please, what are these recommendations premised on? I hope it's free from certain bias and sentiments. Jazakallahu khaira. Uh, well, I think I have explained also everything about recommendation, how they arrive at it, and what have you. Okay, it's a full financial, economic, and business analysis. Okay, not born out of bias. Okay, like I told you, for Kauri Wise, no, for Mary Stem in particular, you can access the detailed analysis. Okay, detailed financial analysis before they arrive at such recommendations, either buy, hold, or sell. Okay. Now, this one says, Prof, please, how accurate are the models they use in predicting the price movement? Is there any reliable model that you can recommend? Well, I'm an engineer. The models I have are, fluid mechanics model, fluid dynamics, civil engineering models, statistical, numerical models. But like I mentioned, predicting the market, sincerely speaking, is one of the toughest things you can imagine, because this is dealing with, humans, human actions that is not within your control. You'll see a stock suddenly rising, not because of anything. In fact, the company may even be underperforming, but yet you'll see the stock price shooting every day, moving by 10%. And that is what is called investor sentiment. Okay. Because you know, thousands, millions of people, they all have access to this stock market. And for whatever reason, sometimes people just, oh, this one is rising, let me go. When there's a hype, okay, a wave, let me ride on the wave. Of course, you can ride on the wave and make profit, short profit, okay, what have you. But then sometimes such price movements are not backed by the actual performance of the companies. Okay, so that is why predicting the price movement and all of that, of course, brokers, they try to do that via their various recommendations, stock recommendation. But then in reality, you have to have just more than a recommendation or model of prediction. Okay, you need to be in the market, experience it, feel it, be very vigilant, analyze the past performances and all of that, gather this, gather that, observe, be vigilant, and then come up with your own perspective, with your own model about predicting the price movement. Of course, we will go into, fundamental analysis, technical analysis very soon, okay, where we can now share some, mathematical ways to, let's say, know whether a stock is oversold or undersold, or it is an uptrend or downtrend, or it will support level, resistance level, at the ceiling, at the floor. So all this will guide, your selection, your understanding, about the price movement. Okay. And then your actual participation, your day-to-day trading on the stock market also will shape your perspective about how these price movements, take place. Yeah, so I think now I can go and answer questions from those who raised their hands. I think is it Isiaku? There was Abdullah Isiaku. Okay, so
Yeah.
Abdullah Isiaku
Na'am.
Shaka.
Na'am, assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Na'am, dakta barka da kokari mun gode
Yeah,
da wannan presentation ne.
yeah,
Kamar
welcome.
yadda ni brokerage account na ina aiki ne da Afri Invest. To
Okay,
amma gaskiya features da na gani a Cowrywise ɗin nan they are far different from the Afri Invest.
okay.
Shi ne na ce ko akwai wasu features a can broker ana Afri Invest wanda ban san inda suke ba. Ko kuma dama haka normal akwai bambancin ne.
Gaskiya akwai bambanci din ne, akwai bambanci din ne yanda ka gani din nan. Ya, akwai amma shi Afri Invest kaga primary broker ne ko traditional broker ne, shi kuma Cowrywise yana using Mary stem, amma kuma yanda ka gani din nan kowane broker zaka ga yana da nashi dai abubuwan, zaka ga wannan shi yasa wasu zaka ga su bude a nan su bude a nan so that sai su benefiting from advantage na wannan da yake da shi na wancan da na wancan haka haka sosai.
Domin kaga kamar yadda ka bude index nan ɗazu a can Afrinvest ba shi da wannan index ɗin.
Na gane gaskiya ni ma wannan index din da ka ke gani gaskiya da ya kauri wise ne a APT a nan zaka iya sayan index din kawai sai dai as a stock kawai zaka iya saya, amma yanda ya arrangin din sa haka gaskiya ni ma ina jin a kauri wise kawai na magani gaskiya.
Masha Allah, na gode zan je in downloading nashi in
Okay.
gani da shi. Masha
Before Dr. Yakubu Dil, I will ask you to unmute yourself. Let me quickly relate what Ishaka asked. He mentioned that he has Afri Invest, and then, but the features he saw on Cowrywise that, I was navigating through the indices and all of that, he does not find them on Afri Invest. So he was saying if those features are hidden on Afri Invest. So I was telling him that actually every broker, has certain strength here and there. So even myself, those indices that I displayed, I didn't find them anywhere except that I know on APT you can buy the indices, okay, as a stock, but not seeing the configuration and all of that as can be obtained on Cowrywise. Yeah. So this is like the summary of what he said, or the what transpired. Okay. So Dr. Yakubu Udil, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
Prof, thank
Yes.
you very much for the presentation. Prof, quickly, maybe I will ask a question on, I want to ask a question on fundamentals, but I believe maybe we will have a session maybe in the future, right? I have not seen the syllabus that you've designed, but maybe we
Yes.
will have a session
That
for
will
that.
come on day 16.
Okay,
Fundamentals.
great.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
look at profit, revenue, growth, and why
yeah,
fundamentals matter.
great,
This is the
great.
day
So,
16. Though well, it will start from day 15.
Okay.
introduction to stock analysis, fundamental versus technical versus sentiment. So this is the
Yes.
15, and then the 16 we expatiate on fundamentals, and then we move on to, other the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Great.
20. Yeah, yeah. So about
Mhm.
5 days will be dedicated to,
Understanding the
understanding
fundamentals.
the fundamentals. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay. Okay, great, great. So
Yeah.
then I will leave this question for that.
All right. Yeah.
The second question also, yesterday I asked question about oil and gas companies,
Yes.
Wando, and then I had a recommendation, I think, of Seplat and
Yes.
Aradel. But
Yes.
just a quick question here.
Yes.
Do you think, Prof, like this Dangote refinery emergence will may affect even this Aradel and Seplat in the future? Like, this is just one question. Then the second question, usually there's advice that you should buy stocks when from the early, like you shouldn't wait until when they start rising and all that.
Okay.
So like what is that early? Because like some stocks like MTN and others, I think have been listed more than 5 years ago.
Mm.
So does it mean if you didn't buy it like 4 or 5, 3 or 4, 5 years ago, like you are late because you of course you didn't buy it then, so and you are interested now. Or by early, you mean like early in the beginning of each year? Like that's what you mean by early. So what does that mean?
Okay. Let me take each of your questions, and then let me share my slide first. Let me share my screen. And then, all right. You see, Seplat and Aradel, they are involved in the exploration of the crude oil. You can see Seplat Energy explores, develops, and produces crude oil and processes and produces gas. Okay, so they are involved in the exploration, and they even earn in dollars. They earn in dollars. I think they even pay their dividend in dollars, Seplat. That's why even Dangote promised that his dividend, he's going to pay dividend in dollars so as to hedge against inflation. Okay, so even when Dangote refinery is listed on the market, I don't think they will be out of market because they are in the exploration. Okay, while Dangote is in the you have the downstream, midstream, and upstream. So I think they also operate in the upstream part, while Dangote is in the midstream. That's the refining. Okay, and of course there are many refineries coming up as well. Okay, not only Dangote, I think Boa is also planning his own refinery as well. Okay, so I don't think Seplat or Aradel, this is Seplat, Aradel, you can see, is also engaged in the exploration, development, and production of oil, natural gas, and petroleum products. So for that, I still see them standing firm even when Dangote lists his refinery. Now, the other question about when to go into the market, like I told you, I mean, you always ask this question, and I told you that really timing the market is very difficult. Some people will tell you don't go when it is bullish, okay? Don't go when it is bullish. Let me quickly open the all share index uh, trend to show the chart.
Yeah, Prof, before you reach there, maybe I'll just add a sentence to the
Okay,
question so that it will be
okay,
more clear. Yeah,
okay.
what I was saying is based on the advice that people will say, don't just buy stock because it is rising, like so as if you are timing it to start rising, then you buy. So what I was
Okay.
trying to say, yeah, what I was trying to say is, okay, if I shouldn't buy it when it's rising, should I wait until when it's like it drop, then it start rising? That's the early, or maybe like when the company listed it from the onset, just like let's say Dangote Refinery
Yeah.
list their own, maybe let's say
All
tomorrow
right.
or next month.
I get
That's
it.
the early you are talking about.
Yes. Okay. So the question is clearer now. You see, we all have different goals, in this stock market. Okay, that's why, in day 5, I insisted on that everyone should identify his investment goals clearly. Now, for long-term holding of, stocks, uh, sometimes even when you buy the stock while it is rising, yes, after a sprint, the stocks usually experience a pullback, usually a mild one, and then they will pick up again. Okay, so in the long term, even when it is rising, because you are not so sure that it is going to go into a bearish trend, even though more often than not, after a sprint, because the stock market is a marathon, so after it appreciates, bullish trend, there will usually reach a point when it will reach a peak and then sometimes flatten or drop a bit, and then after some time it will pick up. Okay, so for someone that is in the market to remain for long, such mild pullbacks and what have you, will not bother you at all, because in the long run it is it is going to appreciate. No matter the pullback, it is going to appreciate. That is one thing. That is for the long term. Now, for someone that is now there in the market, let's say to trade for the short term, now knowing when to buy the stock is very important in that case, because some would experience, a sprint and then will reach peak, will now drop, okay, and then after a while they will pick up again or remain flat for long time until some time before it picks up again. And this is something that is not within your control. So if you are there to trade, then, like I mentioned during the webinar, be at the bus station so that whenever the bus, whenever the bus arrives, it will pick you and you ride on the wave. Okay, as it is rising, you already picked that stock. Okay, one day or 2 days after, you will already be part. Okay, so that once it has risen, to a certain extent, let's say for 1 week, because most of the time you realize there are some stocks that are rallying, daily they are appreciating by 10% for whatever reason. Usually the reason may not even be fundamentally imbued, in their performance. Sometimes there may be some, good news like tantalizers, there's deal it struck, in entertainment and all of that, and suddenly it has started rising. Deep cap, there was interest, by another equity, by another company in buying about $1 billion, and then it has risen from, I think, 1.9 the beginning of the year. It has risen to 10 point something, then came down to 6 point something, and now it is beginning to rise again. So, in such a situation, you can make gains either in the long term or short term. By monitoring the market daily, you would notice when a stock is, rallying, okay? And then you can quickly get into the buzz, okay? So that it will rise up with you. Once you realize that it has reached certain peak, you must have your exit strategy. Are you there, for long term or for short term? If it's for short term, you have to have your exit strategy ready. Okay, once it has made, let's say, 30%, 50%, I'm going to sell it and take my profit. Or once it has reached a peak, once it begins to, let's say, pull back, then I will sell whatever profit I have, I will now exit. And then you can imagine, let me just quickly open Deep Cap so that you see exactly what I mean. You see, this is year to date. You can see 1.9. Here it reached 10.43. 1 point, that is like 2 naira to, that is, if over 400%. From here to here, over 400% gain, okay, within just 1 month. within 1 month. So at this point, let's say you saw it rising and you join, onto the moving wave, and then once it reached the peak, once it begin to have a pullback, you now sell it and take your profit, and then wait for another rising stock, because all the time there are rising stocks in the market. That is if your goal is to make some short-term benefit, profits. You always have these rising stocks, usually not one, not two, so long as you are vigilant, you will identify them. Okay. And then if you want to hold them in the long term, let's say you bought at this point 10.4, but you want to hold it for the long term. A mild pullback, even when it came down to 6.2, that will not bother you at all, because you are in the market not for 1 month, not for 2 months. Definitely over time, it will overcome this mild pullback. Like now, it has started rallying again. It has started now, you see, 8.69. So this mild pullback will not bother you so long as you are in the market, in the long term. But you are in the short term, then you have to be very vigilant about price movement, your exit strategy. Now, talking about buying stock, maybe when it is first listed and all of that, sincerely speaking, I will give you my experience. You see, I bought MTN is one of the stocks I bought ever since I joined the stock, investment in 2014 and 2024. I first bought MTN at 200, okay, at 200. And then after some months, it nosedived to 170. Some people, sold their stocks, panicking that MTN didn't make profit, and they sold their stocks. I didn't sell mine. But then after 2015, the NCC approved that they can increase their services, their data, voice, and what have you. Now MTN saw a significant improvement in its profit, and the stock started rising. 200, 300. I bought more because I know MTN is a very sound stock. Sound stock. Even when there is some pullback, I know that after some time it is going to appreciate. So I bought more at 400. It reached 500, 520. I bought more. Then it came down to around 480. I still did not panic because I know that mild pullback is just for a while. So it came down to 480, and then again it picked up. Now MTN is selling, I think, around is it 650? Oh, 700 today, 708. You can see 708. 708. Like, look at it. You see, 245. Just last year, 245. You can see how it is rising, having a pullback, and then rising. But effectively, it is increasing. It is appreciating. And that is the beauty of the stock market. No matter the ups and downs, no matter how cyclical a stock appears, so long as you choose the right one, you will not be bothered. And even when you buy it when it is, very high, it is still going to continue rising even when it experienced a mild pullback. Okay, so for me, yes, if you can get it when it is, dipping, fine. But sometimes, if you are watching and watching and watching, sincerely speaking, it may continue to rise and only fall, slightly. And that will make you like regret. Why didn't I buy it like 1 month ago? I was waiting for it to to go down to have a pullback so that I can enter at a particular price, and now it is appreciating. And that is the beauty of having, the fundamental analysis and all of that. When you buy a good stock, that should not bother you at all. Of course, if you can buy it when it is dipping, fine. But even when you buy it when it is appreciating, I bet you will not regret it. Because one thing with the stock market is patience. Patience. You must be patient. It has to instill in you that discipline of patience. You have to learn to be patient. Even when stocks are dipping, it doesn't mean, they are going to collapse. Okay. After some time, they will begin to, gather momentum and begin to rise. I think that I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes, yes.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. Thank you very
You're
much, bro.
welcome. You're welcome. Now I saw I am Abdul Qadir raising his hand. Yes, you can unmute yourself. I am Abdul Qadir. Maybe he is not. Oh, okay.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
MashaAllah, we are really, uh, so MashaAllah. Yeah,
Thank
sure, MashaAllah. We really appreciate the effort.
you. The
Thank you,
pleasure
sir.
is mine.
So I have like two questions.
Okay.
And the first one is regarding my career wise.
Okay.
Yes, I was able to open the brokerage account,
Okay.
and I was trying to link up my GT Bank, and
Okay.
they asked me to deposit, make payment of 50 naira, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken, for them to link my GT to the app, which I
Okay.
did. That was like a week ago, and up to now that we're talking now, they've not linked it for me. And I added another bank, which is First Bank, to be linked. I still paid that 15 naira, and they still did not link it up. So I don't know whether I'm missing something. That was why I said, okay, let me ask. Then the
Okay.
second question is regarding my portfolio. So I
Okay.
have let's say 6 to 7 different stocks,
Okay.
and I want to top up.
Okay.
I don't know if I top up. Let's say I have Access Co, and I intend to top it up. If I top up, will Access Co appear twice on my portfolio?
Okay.
Then it will be, I will have then 7 portfolios, or will it add up to that particular unit
Okay.
that I have initially have on Access Co?
I get you.
That's what I want to
All right.
know. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. On your first question regarding cowrie-wise linking, your account,
Thank you.
many people, call to share with me the same problem they experienced. And what I normally ask them to is to write cowrie-wise. Get their email, write them, and they will respond to you. Okay, tell them everything that is happening. They will write back to you, and that issue will be resolved. Okay, that is on the first part. On the second part, you have, let's say, access call, which you bought from, let's say, on Mary's Stem, and you want to top it up. It will be added on the old one. Okay, the cost basis will increase to reflect
Yes, sir.
the total, okay? And then the percentage gain or loss
Okay, to the
will also be
existing
averaged,
units.
okay? Let's say the current percentage gain is 10%, okay?
Okay.
And then it has risen, the price has risen, and you bought it at the current price. So when you now buy it at the current price, the percentage gain is now going to be averaged, okay, and is going to go down from
Mm.
10%, I don't know, maybe to 2 or to maybe 5% or 6. But you are not going to have two different the same stocks but occupying two distinct entries. No, it is going to be added to the previous one, unless you use a different broker. So that's when there will be two distinct entries for the same stock. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one is saying, Salam Prof, just to throw more light on the question around Seplat Aradel.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So thank you very much, sir.
yeah,
Nice.
You are welcome. There are a lot of things. Okay, there are a lot of things that happened over the last 2 years in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. The most prominent one, and okay, maybe he was trying to explain something, but he didn't finish it. Yeah, okay. Okay, the most prominent one, divestment and transfer of equity ownership from the IOCs to the indigenous companies, the likes of Settled, Owando, and Aradel. This actually led to the rise of these companies because these new assets acquisitions. But the question in the industry is whether or not these indigenous companies would be able to function sustainably. So I think he is typing also. You see, Seplat is doing well so far, and Aradel, but Owando really, there a lot needs to be. Maybe it may pick up, but currently uh, the performance isn't so good, and the share price is plunging, and all of that. So it may put itself in check and probably perform well in the future, okay? But that is left to be seen. Now, I think there is someone also. All right, I think we have answered so many questions today. Musa and Muhammad. Okay, let this be the last question. Okay, Musa and Muhammad, go ahead. And then after this, we call it a day.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
Walaikum
Good
salam.
evening, sir.
Walaikum salam. Good evening.
Jazakallah khair for the knowledge sharing, sir.
Wa iyyakum.
I have the first question is regarding book order. Is
Okay.
it book order or order book? Now, my question on it is it the same like if I open my bamboo, what I'm seeing on the book order, is
Mhm.
it the same thing that appears at the same time on Cowrywise, or what I'm seeing on bamboo is only what is being traded around bamboo users? That's the first one. And then the second one is regarding Dangote refinery being listed. How is it coming to the market? Do you have idea? Is it coming through primary market or secondary market? That is second. Then is it possible for like a company to be listed and then come from secondary, not from start from secondary, not coming from primary market? And then the last one is this one is not like a question, but I'm just thinking ahead. Ramadan is approaching us, or we're approaching Ramadan. May Allah spare our life.
Ameen.
How is our class going to be looking at the time we're having the class and the time variation, Taraweeh with some other ibadat? How are we going to manage that period? So these are the three things I want to ask, sir.
I hope I will be able to remember all the three. I remember,
I will
okay,
remind inshallah.
the first one talking about the order book, whether it's the same for all brokers. Probably yesterday you came in late, but I made someone asked the same question, and I mentioned that it is almost the same, except that some may have the refresh rate may be slower in some probably, but they are all accessing the same database. Okay, so it
Okay.
is supposed to be the same, but like I mentioned, in some instances you may have, a minor lag. Okay, from one to
No.
another, but they are all accessing the same database. Okay, and it's ideally supposed to be the same. Okay, then the
No.
the second part of the question, you are asking whether Dangote refinery is coming through the primary or secondary market. Even though I would like to defer this till our next lesson tomorrow, we are going to discuss the primary and secondary market. But briefly,
Okay.
we are hoping because this is the first time it is going to be listed. Like, some companies will be public, can be trading on NAST, NSAD, OTC, okay, which we described before, where you can also buy and sell just like on NGX,
Yes.
and then later they will get it's like the waiting room. because they have lower requirements and all of that. And then when they feel they are now capable of joining NGX, like they now move from NASD OTC to NGX. Okay, so you see such companies have already been trading, they have their shareholders and everything. So it's just like switching now, making themselves, seen in the larger market, which is the NGX. Okay, but for Dangote Refinery, this is the first time it is coming into the market, and it is being expected to be listed within this first quarter. There was a news caption that one of the heads, the managers, saying they are working very hard to see to that it is listed, okay, within this first quarter. So our eyes are wide open till the end of March, because that is the end of the first quarter. Okay, so it is expected to be listed at the end of the first quarter. He promised to list up to 10%. Okay, 10%. Okay, so we are expecting to have it listed in the primary market, where you will buy through IPOs and all of that, which we are going to explain tomorrow. Okay, and then I think I already explained the other part, where a company is already like trading on NASDAQ OTC, and then it moves to NGX. Okay, and then there are others in which probably they go through the NGX from the beginning, okay, via IPO, because that is the first time that it is being traded, so they have to go through IPO, where they get money directly. Okay, they get money directly. All this trading you and I do on NGX, the company, the money doesn't go to, let's say you buy MTN shares, MTN do not benefit 1 naira from that trading. You and I benefit, if you sell or buy, it will just exchange hands, okay? The money go to the company only via the primary market, when they are either when they are first listed, okay, IPO, or when they now sell more shares via PO or right issues or private placements, which we are going to explain tomorrow. Okay, so we will deal with this in details tomorrow. Okay, and then the last part of the question, okay, was Ramadan timing. Well, as for me, because here I'm streaming here from Saudi Arabia. My time is already like we start at 11 p.m. Okay, and normally during Ramadan, Maghrib now is around 5:40, around 5:50, 5:45 to 5:50, and then during Ramadan between Maghrib and Isha is about 2 hours, and that will be around close to 8. And then Tarawih, let's say another 30 minutes to 1 hour. So by 9 Saudi Arabian time, I will be set, which will be equivalent to 7 p.m. in Nigeria. And then by 11, which is my time, then uh, Nigeria will be 9. I don't know the Isha prayer now in Nigeria. I think probably it will be around what is the Maghrib time in Isha and Isha in Nigeria now?
Maghrib is around after 7, and then Isha after 8.
After 8. So something around 9:30 will be fine, I suppose, isn't it, in Nigeria?
Okay, yeah, maybe after Tarawih.
Yeah,
Prof, the Isha time is 7:39 in Kano. They call Adhan at 7:39.
7:39. Okay.
Mm, so
Okay.
that is kind of. I live in Lagos, so we pray here
Yeah,
like
Lagos may have far different time, but the North may
yeah,
have relatively uniform time, which could
earlier.
differ from Lagos, given the geographical,
Yeah, in Lagos it's 8:05.
Yeah,
8:05.
yeah, wow, it's 8:05. That is when we start praying now. That's it. Yeah.
In Lagos it's 8:05. So you'll be able to join at 9.
Yeah, so 9. Okay, we can still test run to continue at 9. If there is need to make it to postpone it to 9:30, then we'll do that.
Jazakumullahu khair.
وإياكم. So I think, Prof, last question from me, please. What stock opportunities are available in Saudi stocks? How can we invest? Okay, someone is saying let it be 9:30, please. Okay, we can push it to 9:30 so that you can pray and probably take something, relax before we start. Okay. Well, I started trading in Saudi stocks, but lightly, and then I think you can use Saham. That is one app. I also use it. Saham, SAHM, is one of the good apps that you can use. Okay, I think I have seen that even expatriates in non-residents can use it. Okay, and then the stock opportunities, well, you will have to dig into it just like we are digging into the Nigerian stocks. There are more stocks on the Saudi Stock Exchange called the Tadawul. Okay, I think there are over 260 companies. In Nigeria, we have just 144. Yeah, there are about, I think, over 260. Okay, so but when you learn, the analysis and everything, you can apply the same to the Saudi stocks, and then based on that, you can make your choice. Okay, but if you make sure you learn, how to, the Nigerian market first, okay, understand it, and then you can move to the Saudi market or the US market or what have you. Okay. All right. I think there is no further question, and we have spent over 1.5 hours today. So, in the absence of any other question, I think we can call it a day. Yes. So, وإياكم. So, جزاكم الله خيرا. So, see you tomorrow for day 14. Is it day 14 or 13 tomorrow? I think tomorrow is supposed to be day 14. Yes.
14.
Okay, day 14. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Prof.
I will
You're
try that
welcome.
job.
You're welcome.
Allah Ta'ala
Yeah.
bless you and your family.
I mean.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
MashaAllah.